I've been really looking forward to Dementias, but you know, like I'm gonna do a video on this idea as well. But like, man, my enjoyment of WoW has actually like completely crashed. I started this season super hyped for it. And like, don't get me wrong, the zone and the content they've added this season is insanely fucking cool. I love it. I'm a big fan of it. But I am so burnt out of the game from farming so much Mythic Plus and then having to do it again for the turbo boost. It's like, I don't play the game for Mythic Plus. I never have done. I never have liked it. Doing all these keys and shit, I like. Something needs to be done about it, because I think it's massively holding the game back. Like, for me, it's an absolutely huge reason for not enjoying the game at all. And yeah, I mean, I've just been having so much fun in PoE and whatnot. And the problem was, like, after my Mythic Plus stint, what came after was Legion Remix, which was the biggest fucking letdown I have ever seen. And yeah, no, it was just insanely unfun. It was a really bad event, and that just created more burnout. I think Blizzard really fucked up. Like, they actually threw a really good season. I was looking forward to going and knocking out all the achievements and whatnot. Delving into PvP. But I've spent that much time doing fucking Mythic Plus, and then that much time, and it's not like it's skippable M Plus as well. This is like I've done the bare minimum in the time that I have. And then I've tried to keep up to date with Legion Remix. And it's like, yeah, no, it has actually just burnt me out. Like, they really did do a terrible job. I don't even know what more to say. I can't really, like, give Blizz credit. They had an incredible season. Koresh is fucking awesome. The content's sick. At least for like open worlds, they've really actually, like, compared to the last 7 patches, I'd say, they've done an incredible job. But yeah, that aside, it like, I just don't want to log in and play. I don't. Like, I of course want to raid, like, being on the bosses, which, you know, the mythic raid bosses. This is what the hype is about. Difficult bosses. I'm more than happy to go on and raid, but yeah, just all that commitment. I don't know. It really was not good. They need to do something about it. Like, if I want to be a Mythic Plus only player, I can be a Mythic Plus only player. If I want to be a story player, you know, I'm still gonna have to do some dungeons and shit and a bit of raiding. If I want to really optimize in PvP, bro, I gotta fucking do some keys and shit for some of the high verse pieces. There's that verse mastery ring which goes hard. Or even if I just want a like an unbalanced non-versa ring. There we go. But I don't know, it shouldn't be that way. I understand having to do some dungeons and whatnot, but like the constant vault farm, I honestly think this game would be so much better if we like, delete normal heroic and mythic tiers for dungeons, and have the non-mythic plus versions just be like a scaled story mode or something, where it's like got decent challenge, and you can get some gear for it, but the main point of it is to just do it to get your credit in the story. You're just playing with other random people. Like, if you've got a rat shit ult, it gets scaled up, so you get a smooth way back into the game. If you're like a turbo character, you're not just speed clearing it so that the casual player can't enjoy it, or at least properly experience it. Just having that sort of balance between the different kinds of players, and like actually having it relatively brain on content. Then for the raid as well, I think like I feel like LFR has got to go, as with normal. I think LFR and normal should be removed, and both mythic should receive a small nerf, and heroic should receive a decent nerf or something. For raid, no, there's even story mode as well, which I find insane. Like, delete story mode, it's an MMO. Make heroic way more, like, just have 2 tiers of raiding. There's there's everyone's tier, and then there's the challenge tier. There should not be this much shit to have to grind through to get to full completion. The game is not good enough to warrant all that grinding. No, I'm sorry, but most people, I would wager, play WoW because of the people they know on there, rather than the actual gameplay itself. And yeah, I don't know. If Blizzard don't tackle that, as soon as enough people, like, as soon as these groups of friends all collectively agree on a new game to go and play, they'll go play it. I'd rather see WoW being a much cooler and more entertaining game, something way more fun to play, rather than it dying. Believe it or not, I do like the game quite a bit, despite how much I like to complain about it. But like, I complain about it because I want to see it be good. But it's, yeah, like, yeah, I'm legit just playing because of the people I know. I much prefer the gameplay of Path of Exile, hence why I'm on it right now. Except when it gives me like terrible loot. And like, yeah, this just, I don't know. It's like, I love the world in World of Warcraft. I love all the lore. I love like a lot of the class design as well. I mean, that's getting heavily changed though, isn't it? But it's just the amount of just unfun, forced grinding to do something I want to do sucks, man. And I know what a lot of people will say. I know they'll sit there and be like, oh, well, you don't have to grind this. It's like, well, the thing I find fun, yeah, I do. And I have to put in more time into stuff I don't like to play stuff I do like. Which, you know, inherently that's a problem. I've never understood it as a defense where people would say that, yeah, technically you don't have to, you choose to. Okay, true, but we all choose to play games and whatnot. Like, we all choose to do pretty much everything in life. You can make that argument to nullify just about any point. It's a weak argument. I'm gonna be honest. And when all I hear about WoW is just like there's a hell of a lot of negativity and whatnot. Even from people who so-called enjoy the game. Is I don't know. So something definitely needs to change. I was in a PoE stream the other day, and yeah, just lurking to try and get some tips and whatnot. And there was one of the guys' mods was playing WoW, and like the stream was like, oh, there are any actual WoW players in the chat, and so a few people piped up and was like, okay, now are any of you actually enjoying the game, or are you playing it out of habit? And every single one of them, bro, all under Stockholm Syndrome. I swear down. That's not how gaming should be. You should be happy to be on and play. You should be enjoying yourself. I don't think it's so wrong to sit here and like make propositions on what you feel would be better for the game. I think what is wrong is to try and shut down people who try to suggest these sorts of improvements. You could of course have reasonable debate. You could say like, respectfully, I disagree, and why? You know. If you just say, oh, I disagree. Why? No reason. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe at that point, you don't really disagree. You're just afraid of a bit of change there. Yeah, no, I'd love to invest more time into WoW and whatnot. I'd love to be more passionate for it. But with the way that Blizzard has made the game, it's just... Nah. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be doing stuff next month. Sort of part of role playing and like doing our own world building, creating our own events and whatnot. Gonna have some banger streams out of that, so be sure to tune in. Which I think is gonna make the game really fun for me. I'm so looking forward to it. But the mandatory grinds, just to play a raid, where it's like, it's not even like my gear matters that much, really. It really doesn't. I farmed all this gear just so I can have the best odds of doing like the most damage, but there's still a hell of a lot of skill I gotta put into playing my spec. A hell of a lot of skill I gotta put into playing the fight, learning the fight, researching the fight. I think there's enough of a time investment for you to literally just say, right, gear in Mythic is scaled to 730 for everyone who walks into Mythic. It's all about how well you can play your class and the boss. Like, I honestly don't see what the downside of that would be. Just pick an item level, tune it over the season and whatnot. Like, give players the opportunity to like tweak their stats for it. I say, if people want to do a gear grind thing, sure, go like have your Mythic Plus for farming up the Bisque gear, whatever. But like, man, for raid, I don't care about gear and raid. I really don't. It's so uninteresting. Of course, like, some of the items can be quite interesting and fun to use, but I'm not going in there to, like, see what my gear can do. I'm going in there to take on a challenging boss. So, Blizzard, like, please, maybe just reconsider the need for gear as a whole in raids. Like, as I'm talking, I'm just thinking more and more how much more I would enjoy the game if my gear was just scaled. If I didn't have to farm a ton of keys and whatnot outside of the raid. Like, I would then be able to devote my time into other areas of the game which I enjoy. This season, I only got to devote my time to Mythic Plus, which has led to me no longer wanting to devote my time to anything in WoW. Nothing. I don't want to play the game at the moment. I'm so uninterested. Even though I've got some cool stuff I could be doing, it's like, as soon as PoE was about, hell yeah, I'm hopping on that bandwagon. I just need to get off WoW. But no, Mythic Plus is a terrible hook. At least for me, you know, like, I gotta respect in this debate. There are people who like Mythic Plus, and probably some of them who are sitting about and saying, well, I don't like raiding. Why do I have to do raiding to get my gear for Mythic Plus? And to be honest, I see that as quite a fair and valid complaint. Like, you know, if you want to play Mythic Plus, Arena, Raid, RPG, whatever, why we shouldn't just be able to do, like, I don't know, maybe just a decent initial grind to ease us into it, and then start playing it? I don't know. Like, I don't know why that's not possible. It's legit. I did keys until I like my vault. I got lucky with my vault. Every single vault was an upgrade. So all I had to do in the end, like, I didn't even have to do an extra vault for my last socket. Because that, like, it was just the, I split my turbo boost grind into 2 weeks. So technically, if I did like all 20 something keys in 1 week, okay, I would have needed an extra vault. But like, considering the amount of time I have to play the game, you know, it's, yeah, I feel like there's definitely a decent population of people who have the luxury of being able to no life the game, who sit and defend the amount of grind you gotta put in. But for me personally, it's like, yeah, no, I get the old way of thinking, saying like, oh, it's an MMO, there should be grinds. I agree, there should be grinds in an MMO. I also think, like, for some of the top stuff, yeah, you should have to grind. But yo, mythic raiding is actually challenging enough where you learning that stuff is a grind. You learning to actually play that right is a grind in of itself. Not the gear. The gear is, your brain is off. It, like, is not engaging. It's not difficult to grind that gear. It is just a mind-numbing social task in a way. You just get irritated at other players. You're probably getting quite toxic because you don't want to be in these keys. But of course, you have to be to get your gear. So, you know, that's another positive. Like, getting people like me out of keys would be good for the community. Like, I can't say I'm nice to people when people, like, start making mistakes in the keys that don't challenge me and I just need to do for gear. And before you say, well, maybe they should make the gear grind harder, please, no. That just makes the game, like, nah. I don't want hard gear grinds to do hard content. I have the hard content. It's mythic raiding. Of course, I don't have anything against there being the added system of, like, oh, if you really like keys, you can go push as high as you want or feel you can do. Sure. Tried to push keys early season, got 3.6, haven't got back since. I haven't even gotten 3k. I have not bothered to get 3k. I might get it. And as much as I like the mount, I'm really sitting here at a point where it's like, I just think even a smooth run, like, even if I got my guildies to boost me and I just, like, AFK Ford Man or something, I just think it's that unenjoyable content that the pixels aren't worth it. I'm sorry, but, like, yeah, it's a nice reskin, and I'm a huge fan of the model. In fact, I think this is my favorite KSM mount to this day. But yeah, no, I just can't. Never push keys. Thought you'd try this season. Horrible experience. Yeah, I don't understand the people who enjoy it, but there are people who do enjoy it, and they do definitely contribute to keeping the game going, and they're definitely healthy to have in the game. Albeit sometimes I think they get catered to a bit too much. But yeah, I just really see a need for reworking the core of the game and making it more enjoyable for the people who don't like Mythic Plus. I think, like, as well, there's definitely merit to having like Mythic Plus does not have to raid. Like, realistically, how many you Mythic Pluses are like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go and raid for my Mythic Plus trinket. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna guess there's a very low number. I feel like a lot of these people are just going in and like, well, I have to do it. I have to do it if I want to keep pushing keys. So I'll do it. I can't imagine that being fun for the Mythic Pluses either. Like, sure, Mythic Plus ain't my jam, but still, as a player of the game, I have to recognize that Mythic Pluses massively contribute to keeping the game alive. I mean, people of all different forms of content. I think, like, especially, like, arenas need a load of love, and RPGs, world events need massive amounts of love too. But, yeah, I mean, there's a new battleground coming next expansion, which I think's, a definitive W. But yeah, I mean, I really do think that just getting rid of the amount of gear you have to grind is going to infinitely increase participation. Well, not infinitely. It's going to have a big increase in participation across other forms of content. It's going to make people happier. Because, like, even as I sit here saying, like, how I don't like having to do all this Mythic Plus for raiding, there's gonna... I guarantee you there's plenty of other examples of, like, I want to play X content, but I'm farming more or so much of Y content that the game is just, like, becoming unfun. Okay. Fizz dam reduction. I'm a genius there. While everything's meleeing me. Woo! It's a thought process I think Blizzard really could do with considering a lot more. Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I even did used to enjoy Mythic Plus. There was a time back when every season had its own affix and, like, dungeons relevant to the expansion, which I hadn't already devoted multiple hundreds of hours to. Yo, I was all for that. These days I'm far from a target audience of Mythic Plus. Blizzard does not want me, does not care about people like me enjoying Mythic Plus anymore. Because let's be real, there are so much other people who are way more passionate about the system, who have a different stance to me. And that's fair enough. Like, by all means, they don't have to cater to me at all. My enjoyment anyway, it comes from open world content, comes from the story, comes from raiding, and comes from pretty much all forms of PvP. You got hacked today? What happened, bro? But yeah, I mean, I guess that's today's rant. That's today's rant on the state of WoW.